Hey everyone, welcome back to Cowabunga Corner News. In this episode, we are back with Steve Varner to find out more about the Ninja Turtle toy line that just came out recently. Thank you for joining us again on Cowabunga Corner.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It was so exciting getting to come here last time and see all these amazing sculpts and everything. I know with the new toy line, we don't get to see those physically anymore because they're done on computers, correct?
Yeah, it's all digital now.
Can you tell us a little bit about the program that's used for making these? Well,
we use a number of different programs. The main two programs we use is a program called Freeform, and then we also use ZBrush, which is becoming really popular and is getting a lot better. So we use that a lot now too. Now,
is this your first time returning to Ninja Turtles in some time, or?
Yeah, it's been a while. We haven't really done the Ninja Turtles since the beginning part of 2000s. We did them all through the late 80s, and we did the original ones, and then we did them all the way through the 90s and into the early 2000s, and then after that they were done elsewhere in China and
welcome back.
Yeah.
These are getting a lot of high reviews from the fans. We like the articulation, especially in the turtles themselves.
Right.
When you guys were hired, were you told where to make the articulation points, or was that your choice?
No, they pretty much laid out where the articulation points should be, and so we just went ahead and did it that way. Some of the things were dropped. We did have a double knee articulation, which was really nice and worked really well with this kind of a figure with the knee pads, but that was dropped for cost reasons and stuff. So, and then we explored other things like ankle articulation and things like that never really made it, but was interesting.
I know I really like the articulation that's in there already with the turtles.
I'm happy with it, the way it turned out.
They're so easy to pose. But then when I opened up the human toys, I didn't feel the same with the articulation, like the knees and elbow joints aren't there.
Right.
Especially with that thin of limbs.
Yeah, it would have been really difficult, well, almost impossible to articulate her. So, they concentrated more on the turtle characters, giving them a lot of articulation. The Shredder character, I think, should have had knee articulation, but that was dropped too, cost reduced, and
it should have had it.
I think so, but it ended up being an expensive toy to make, so it had there's always decisions to make, when you're producing toys.
It's understandable that cost expenses have gone up in a lot of different areas. It's
Right.
just sad that because of cost effectives, we're not getting knee joints.
Well,
Poor Shredder.
not now.
Not now. Okay. With the toys, you got to design these four right
Yeah.
here?
Right.
Which one was your biggest challenge of the four of them?
Maybe Shredder, because he's just a lot more complicated than the other characters, and well, actually, all four of the turtles were pretty difficult, because we would meet with the people over at Nickelodeon with Ciro and those guys, and we would come in with some of our own ideas, and some of those got accepted, most of them didn't, and so we had to kind of back into the whole thing.
With the turtles, there was two of you designing the turtle toys.
Right, exactly.
How did you guys get the lining and everything set up on the sizes and making sure that the turtles were the actual sizes?
Oh, we did. We got together and we lined them up, and we would meet down at Nickelodeon and with the guys at Playmates and Ciro and a bunch of the other people at Nickelodeon, and everybody would look at them and make comments, and we'd bring them back and adjust them, and so there was a few meetings like that, and then it was just sort of finishing them off.
Okay.
But until everybody was happy.
Now with each of the turtles, they have all the same moving joints areas. but the feet and everything, all of it is different sculpts for each turtle.
Right,
None of
they're all
it's the
4
same.
different sculpts, yeah.
So.
They're totally, because they're different sizes. So, yeah, they had to be totally different.
Is this the first time in doing Ninja Turtles where it's all different sculpts for the full bodies of the turtles?
Pretty much from our perspective. I guess the very first ones were a little bit different, but they had common shells and things even, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we noticed in the early days. A lot of pieces would seem to match up. You can.
Yeah. Yeah, the very first turtles we did, after I did the little clay sketch, then we came back, and at that point we did the first set was twice up. They were like this big.
Wow.
And so we did like one shell, and then we did, different arms and legs, and they ended up, and the 4 different heads.
Yeah.
Except the heads were not done that size. They were rotocast, so they were only about, I think 9% up.
So you guys got the body stuff
right
up there, but no matching head.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
That's got to look weird.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
With the expressions of the characters now, is that designed by them over at Nickelodeon, or do you guys get to choose if they're smiling, gritting their teeth, or?
It was pretty much designed by Nickelodeon, and we just tweaked it a little bit. Had to try to follow it. And I mean, we went through a number of different expressions. I mean, we would do our own expressions and then bring them over there, and then, they'd say yay or nay or whatever, and until we got it right, the way they wanted it.
How long does it take per a turtle?
Well, these took quite a while because it was a long process from the beginning, and then with all the meetings and stuff over at Nickelodeon, I mean, we were probably working on those 2 or 3 months. Now,
per turtle?
Yeah, now,
wow.
Yeah. Well, not per turtle, but I mean
okay.
the whole series. We're
okay.
doing them all together. But now we're doing one new one right now, and it's like that's like a month or so. And we're not working on it constantly either. But
okay.
Yeah, so it's a lot easier once you have the first one.
Once you get through that first wave of them.
Right, and you know how the joints are going to be, how everything's going to be. It becomes a lot easier. Yeah.
Which of the toys are you most satisfied with that have come out? Have you got to look them over?
The turtles, just the 4 turtles are are my favorite. I really don't have any problems with them. Especially for the price that they're selling for, and the kind of articulation and everything they have. I'm quite happy with them.
They do have a lot of articulation. That is a big plus. We'll keep saying that.
and they look good too. Because there's a lot of toys that are really articulated, but they give up a certain look for the articulation. And I don't think these did. They didn't really suffer for the articulation aesthetically.
With the plastics and everything, did everything turn out the way that you envisioned it after it was produced, or did they do different painting or something that you were not expecting?
With the turtles themselves, they turned out better than I thought. I early on told them, because they're not painting all the surfaces, that what they needed to do is go in and sandblast their tools so they could get a matte finish on all of them, and they actually listened, which they usually don't, and they did it, and it looks great. I'm really happy. I hope they keep that up, because it's a very inexpensive way to get that look.
Okay.
Because otherwise they would be shiny. You remember what the old ones were like? They,
very reflective.
Yeah, very reflective. It's very difficult.
These guys take great pictures. They're not like the flash isn't bouncing back in my face.
And it's for that reason, because they're sandblasted.
That's nice to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys design the weapons that came with them, or that too?
Yeah, we did everything. Mm-hmm.
Was there any weapons that you guys were particularly proud of that came out of it?
You know, I mean, I'm not really a weapons guy that much, but you know, I'm more of a figure guy. But I mean, I liked them. I thought they were good. You know, it's none in particular.
Nothing really.
No, nothing jumped out at me. but you know, weapons aren't usually going to jump out at me.
With the toy line, so far they have been known to be selling off the shelves. Have you gone to stores and seen this?
I haven't myself, but my son has gone and he's bought some, and he's gone to places where they were gone and had to go back again, and same with some of the other guys here. So yeah, I mean, they seem to be selling well.
Is it a surprise that they're selling so well before the show's even on the air?
That does surprise me, because I mean, there's not any advertising whatsoever, not for the show, not for the toys. I don't even know how people are finding out about them, other than
we
just
are very
seeing
talkative fans.
Right.
Actually, there's a thing right now called Turtles versus Foot. And I have it on my Facebook and on my Twitter, and it's to help promote the new stuff coming out. You get to share video clips on Twitter, on Facebook, and that way we're helping promote it across the internet. And the internet's a big advertisement tool.
Right.
So
right. Well, it seems to be working because they're selling. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like once the commercials start hitting.
Another thing that kind of helped with promoting the Turtles was over at San Diego Comic-Con, they were giving away these comic books.
Oh, wow.
And in the comics, it's all using the figurines. It advertised all the toys in the front, and then through the comic itself, it's all using the toys for every panel of the comic.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't see those.
They were handing these out free over at the Comic-Con. You can have this one.
Oh, wow, cool.
I have a ton of them.
Yeah,
it's signed by Rob Paulson.
Awesome.
But yeah, they were giving them out at the Nickelodeon booth. They were out on the streets giving them away to people who are not even going to Comic-Con. So anyone who was in San Diego at the time was able to get their hands on these books. Then they've since popped up here and there on eBay, or friends shipping them out to other friends.
Yeah,
so,
I had to go, one day I had to go looking for a replacement turtle, because the Playmates had come over and dropped off a set at my booth, and I was showing them. And I turned around and looked, and one of them was missing. Somebody
did they take the Mikey?
I think it was Mike.
Yeah, it was Mike. I remember you coming up and saying someone stole your
that's right. I was looking for you.
Yeah.
I ran into you going, where was it they were selling these?
Along the back wall.
Yeah, and so I did finally find it and went over there, and
this year, San Diego was full of turtle stuff. There was Nickelodeon. Did you make it to the Nickelodeon?
I went over there, yeah.
Got to see those huge statues.
Right, exactly. You know, at Comic-Con, it's hard for me to get out of my booth.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of there.
Look for him at Comic-Con. If you guys are going to Comic-Con, he's usually over near Artist Alley in the main aisle, and he'll have these turtle sculpts on display so you can actually see the original sculpts, and it is worth seeing with your own eyes.
Yeah, I mean, we have practically every turtle ever made. I mean, up until the 2000.
Now, with the new turtle line, when they approached you, did they approach you because of the nostalgic idea that you worked on the original toy line? Or did they come to you guys just not even remembering that you were with the toy line, just coming to you guys because you're good with toys?
Oh, no, believe me, I know these guys for years. So, you know, it's like, I mean, the only reason they departed from us was cost. I mean, it was, it's like, you know, they had something new to do. I mean, up until now, it's just been redesigning and rehashing the sculpts that we originally did, where they just cut them up different ways, but or you know, blow them up to different sizes. But you know, this was all new, so they came back to us because we're the ones that did the original ones, and they figured we could do the new ones too, and we did it, and I think they turned out great.
Knowing that these people who've been with the Turtles since the 1980s are still with the Turtles is one of the big selling points for me, that they're doing this from the heart.
And even goes further than that, because the owner of Playmates Toys kind of over the years got a little disconnected from the company, and allowed some of the people who were running it to get rid of like a lot of the old engineers, You know, they you know, scrapped the Hong Kong office, all that also, and the owner just basically took over again in the last couple of years. He went and he hired all the engineers back. He hired, the whole team is back again. It's not just us.
Wow.
It's everybody.
That's fascinating to know. That's really thrilling, because for those of us who've been collecting the toys all these years, to know that these are not just being designed by the same people, but made by the same people, that just makes us even more of a yay.
Yeah, I mean, even inside of Playmates, it's all the old people that, not all of the old people, but a lot of the old people that we used to work with, you know, from the late 80s to you know, 2000 are back again. Carl Aronian is back again, who's I guess he's like the vice president of marketing. Jeff Trojan is back, and you know, and there's a couple of guys that never left, but it's pretty much the old team again.
That's really cool to hear.
Yeah, we've known each other for, you know, 25 years or more.
These are the things that we don't get to find out just by seeing toys on the shelves.
No.
And people don't realize how much is being put into keeping things the same while making the changes that they need to make. And I find it really fascinating when we do find out. So thank you so much for sharing that there's more to it than what we do know. Have you had any, with doing the toy designs, any sneak peeks of any footage at all of the series yet, or? I
haven't really looked, no.
No?
I know there's some things on YouTube and stuff, but I just haven't got a chance to. I've just been so busy.
There's some good ones out there. With any of these toys, like with April or Shredder, if there was things, besides for like the knee joints, that you would have liked to have seen done a little bit different, is there anything with them? Because you're saying how great the humans are, but what do you think of the Shredder and April characters? I
mean, I think the Shredder character is pretty good. I you know, I like him. It definitely needed the knee joints. You know, it'd be great if it could have knee and ankle, because then it could really pose. That's the only thing that probably would have been.
He is the stiffest one. He's got at least got the elbow joints.
Yeah.
He does have that.
Yeah, but given the, you know, I would rather have knee joints on him than elbow joints. I mean, it's because it doesn't really affect the posing that much, the elbow joints, but the knee joints affect it a lot.
Yeah, that would have been neat.
Yeah.
With the molds of these, that you guys save all of these for future use on the computer as well, in case a new toy line comes up?
Of course, yeah. You know, everything is archived.
That makes it a lot easier to preserve it for future use, doesn't it?
Right, because in the past, you know, we would make molds, rubber molds on them, but those molds have a life of like less than 10 years. So all the molds have been pitched out. Luckily, before the molds would be pitched out, we usually cast a couple of urethanes in them, and then just threw them in a box, labeled them, and didn't even clean them up. But just if we need to, we can always remold them. So they're not lost forever, but it's still not the same as digital, because digital loses nothing. Yeah,
that's the new and not going to say improved, because I do love all the original sculpts and everything, but that's the new way of doing it, and it does, for the most part, hold better for future usage and everything.
Right.
So.
I mean, digital is great, but I mean, it would be really good if we would have time to do the digital, print them out, you know, do a mold and get them into clay or wax, and then just work on them a little bit. But you know, the thing is that since everyone has gone to digital, well, not everyone, but most of the toy companies have gone to digital, their times to release are so much shortened. Everything is like fast, quick. So you literally don't have time to.
Let's get this out now.
Yeah, and when they find that you can get it out faster, they just push you to get it out even faster. So it just, I mean, I had I had somebody ask me to design a new character the other day, and they expected me to have it done at the end of the day. I'm going like, no, not even digitally can you do that. You know, you have to design. You know, just coming up with
art takes time.
Yes, it takes time. Yeah. So, but the reality is, I got it done in like 3 or 4 days.
We thank you again for joining us on the Cowabunga Corner and updates on which toys that you've actually helped out with on this series.
Great.
I know we are, again, thrilled with the Turtles, especially, out of this line. It's really great.
Yeah, the Turtles are my favorite. I'm really happy with them.
And we hope we can catch up with you again as you work on more Turtle toy lines and stuff in the future.
Yeah, sure. Well, we'll keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Cowabunga Corner News.